Until recently, Georgia was welcoming foreign farmers to settle and invest in Georgia's agricultural sector. The South African Boers were among the first to respond to an invitation from the Georgian government. Farmers and investors from other countries, Egypt, Iran, and China, among others, followed suit. All these came to a halt on June 28 when the Georgian parliament imposed a moratorium on the purchase of agricultural land by foreigners. The moratorium will stay in force till the end of 2014. At the moment, only a small percentage of Georgia's agricultural lands have been sold to foreigners, less than 5% according to some counts. However, the arrival of foreign farmers sparked protest and in some cases violence. The moratorium provoked negative reactions from the business community, and it also gives an opportunity to think and debate a future policy. A policy that on the one hand allows for the creation of an effective land market and investment, but also considers the needs of smallholder farmers, who so far have been excluded from the public debate. Getting the policy right is as important for the private investors as it is for the Georgian smallholders. Piet Kamp's family is one of only a few Boer families who moved to Georgia since 2010 and started their own farming business in Sartichala.
80% of the land belonging to the local people in Sartichala was not worked when I was coming here 3 years back. And now more than 80% of this land, cultivating land, is now irrigated and planting.
Piet's arrival to Sartichala has brought many benefits for the locals. For one thing, the Boers are a major employer.
მე ახლა სადაც მიმუშავ, ეგ მეურნეობა რო იყო დაიშალა იქ სოციალურ. მე მუშაობ მაგათთან ჩვენი წელი. შემოვიდა პიტი. უცხოელი. და მეგობრობთ, მუშაობთ ერთად, მოსავალი მოგხონს და პირაღლა მოყოფილები ვართ. 6 ტრაქტორისტი ვართ, ხარაულებიც არიან. ბრიგადირები ისიც არიან, მაგრამ ჩვენ ახლა მე მაინც პირადად მოყოფილი ვარ, არაფერს არ უშავებს მო, აქეთ პატიჟს გცემს. ხნა თესამ და გვიდგია გვერდში.
ყველას თავისი აზრი აქვს. რა თქმა უნდა მე ჩემს გამოვხატა. რა თქმა უნდა. რა ვიცი, მე რო თქვა, მე არაფერს არ მიშლიან ბურები. თუკი ისეთ რამეს მოიყვანენ და იმდენს მოიყვანენ რომ სოფელს წაადგება. ბური მოიყვანს თუ რუსი მოიყვანს, უნდა გამოადგნენ სოფელს. თავარი ეგ არის. მე ესენ წამს და ესენ ჯერა პირველ რიგში თორე. რა ვიცი, რას უნდა უშვილდნენ სხვას. ხალხურის ხალხს უკვირს. შრომელი ხალხი არის, სიმინდის მე გადმოცემით ვიცი.
At present, about 80% of formerly state-owned agricultural land in the Sartichala area is cultivated by Piet Kamp and fellow Boer settlers. The problem is that this share is likely to go up. What it means in practice is that the residents of Sartichala, the small Georgian farmers, will have ever less land for grazing their thousands of cattle, on which they depend for survival.
So there's a little bit of anger, but not at all. What the problem is not for me, not for that when there's land available, and the old government told us there's land is available, not 1 hectare of that land, they show us on the first tour 3 years back, was available. It is government land, but it is available. They give it to sell, but you can't sell it because the locals use it. It's not their property, but they use it. And now suddenly they sell it to someone, then you will have a problem. Then they come and say, no, the person of the chicken farm, okay, they didn't call names, but someone, Georgian, buys them 130 hectare land next to ours. And our company rented from him, and I started working it. And then they come and stop, said, "Oh, you can't work it." I said, "No, I will never let someone stop me. If I want to go on, nobody stop me. I come out of South Africa, and nobody will stop me. And if I want to do a thing, and I knew the act is on my side, I have no problem. But then the people say, now we are like 130 families. Make a life out of this 130 hectares. If you take it away, we have nothing. And then I will never take that land. I said, okay.
Pete and others are very well aware of the problem and making every effort to stay on good terms with the locals. It is in part about skillful diplomacy, but also the Boers are a major employer, and some of their investments, for instance in water pipelines, benefit the entire community. Finally, and very importantly, the Boers are willing to use their know-how and equipment to help work out a permanent solution to the problem.
My neighbors, and we are very good friends. We really it's nice to have people like them. But they don't understand what I try to do. I told them, okay, 2 or 3 of you, each one of you, I don't know where it is, have 1 or 2 hectares of land. I will do it free for you. Cultivated that land, and that you plant fodder, not corn. We plant fodder for your cattle on that, so that you can graze. It is flat irrigatable, they told me. Then you can flat irrigate it, you take out the cattle, or we put it on that one hectare and we can flat irrigate it this one. After 1 week we bring the cattle back to this one, flat irrigated that one, give some fertilizer. I will not ask you 1 lari, and I will not put 1 cattle there. It is up free to you.
The options that are currently on the table for Sartichala are quite limited. Kemp offers his help and resources to introduce Sartichala farmers to more efficient cultivation methods. This may allow them to make better use of the small plots of land they have. The policy dilemma facing the Georgian government, however, is that none of this is going to happen on a sufficient scale. Neither the Boers nor any other foreign investors can handle the entire burden of social problems associated with the manner in which land privatization has been handled by a succession of Georgian governments. When discussing the future policy on land ownership, we should remember that land policy is of crucial role not only for private investment in agriculture, but also for social and political stability in the country. The current situation is clearly untenable. Land titling has not been completed. There is no comprehensive information on the quantity and quality of agricultural land, and as a result, there is no effective land market for those willing to exchange or lease land. Most problematically, private investors, many of whom are foreigners, often cede on land that is or could be contested by the nearby village communities, whose interests and informal rights have often been ignored. The current administration has shown its commitment to protecting the property rights of the new landowners. But it may have to go beyond that. The central question to be addressed in this debate is how Georgia could ensure investors' property rights, promote land consolidation, and develop a modern agricultural sector, while at the same time benefiting the poor, maintaining social cohesion, and avoiding political destabilization. As complicated as it may be, performing this balancing act would put Georgia on a path towards inclusive growth, the purpose of our dialogue series.